The mind, it is asserted, is the most formidable force in the world. If you long fervently for something, it is held that you can attain it. This is not an assertion of my own, but the expression of numerous prominent individuals. However, if this premise is valid, if it is true, why don't we get what we long for with all our being? No one desires melancholy in his or her mind, but if it persists, sadness sets in. Everyone yearns for success with all their heart. They wish to accumulate wealth, but many do not succeed. Although there may be someone in the world who in his mind does not desire to be successful, nor to accumulate money. When we reflect on this, two possibilities arise: either those great men were wrong when they said that one can achieve what one desires wholeheartedly, or we ourselves are wrong. In the story I will share today, you will discover a mantra. After understanding it, you will have access to a mantra, which will enable you to understand how to achieve anything with your mind. How to plant the seed of any desire within you. This knowledge will be revealed through the narrative you are about to hear. Though brief, the story possesses significant depth. Let us begin with it. Once upon a time there was an individual whose existence was plagued by misfortune. No matter what task he undertook, the poor man never managed to complete it. When he returned home, sadness would take over. When he called for help, he found all the doors closed. It was as if an avalanche of misfortune had been unleashed on him from all sides. He could not see a way out of his sad reality. His days and nights were spent immersed in the search for a solution to escape from this abyss of discouragement. This constant preoccupation prevented him from sleeping, marking his face with deep dark circles under his eyes that reflected the magnitude of his sadness and anguish. At times, the thought of ending his life was on his mind, but concern for his family prevented him from taking that step. Consumed by sadness, he decided to rid himself of his grief at any cost, even if it meant walking on hot coals. One day, he sought advice from a friend on how to improve his life. The friend suggested that he visit a spiritual leader called Baba, who had a mantra that could eradicate all sorrows, bring happiness, and bring prosperity. The idea that only a Baba could solve his hardships took root in his mind. If he found a Baba, he would go to him, expose his problems, and beg for a solution. He would tell the Baba, "Baba, I am willing to do anything, but please deliver me from these problems of mine. I am willing to follow your directions, without reservation." The Baba would provide him with some magical tricks to perform, in return for a donation, assuring him that after performing the ritual, happiness and peace would come to his home. He would only need to follow the entire method of the trick rigorously. The man would return home and follow the ritual prescribed by the Baba. But despite performing countless tricks, his life remained unchanged. Instead of improving, his existence became even more wretched. Every Baba he visited demanded financial compensation, gradually depleting his wealth. This constant outlay contributed to his financial decline, while the afflictions in his life increased. The reflection arose in him that, instead of reducing his sadness, going to the Babas was intensifying it. So the question arose, should he continue to consult the Babas? In a turn of events, someone suggested that he call a scholar or pandit, as they were called there, and then perform a haban, which was a sacred fire ritual in his home. He was assured that this act would purify his house, and drive away any negative energy. Following the advice, he summoned a pandit. He performed the haban, and as expected, the pandit solicited generous donations. However, after a few days, the man realized that his situation remained unchanged. In despair, he experienced overwhelming sadness and constant worry. The conviction that his misfortunes would have no end took hold of him. At a critical moment, a friend told him of a Baba who did not ask for donations, in return for offering solutions. Intrigued by the rarity of this Baba, as it did not accept any kind of contribution, he considered that it might be genuine. Reasoning that a genuine Baba would not seek financial gain, he decided to seek the help of this unique individual. Upon arrival, he beheld the Baba immersed in meditation. Silently he sat down, and waited for the Baba to emerge from his contemplative state. When the Baba's eyes opened after a while, he found a distressed and worried young man in front of him. Noticing the deep circles under his eyes, the Baba grasped the magnitude of the torment afflicting the man. He questioned the young man, inquiring about his reason for the visit and his wishes. The man confessed, "Baba, my life is plagued with suffering. I have tried various ways to free myself from this burden, following all the tricks, which any Baba has taught me. I have fulfilled all the requests made to me. But I have not experienced relief from my sorrows. In fact, they have increased. I do not understand what to do. Sometimes the thought of death crosses my mind, but I stop myself by thinking of my family. I have heard a lot about you, Baba, and I have come with hope. Please show me a way out of this affliction. I am willing to undertake any journey, however difficult it may be, if it will free me from my sorrows. The Baba sensed the man's deep torment. After listening to his story, he imparted a piece of advice. Son, mantras to dispel sadness are not easily acquired. Certain efforts have to be made to obtain them. You can set out on a path after listening to what I will tell you. Hearing these words, the man initially thought, I assumed that this Baba would also ask me for donations, but it seems that there is no other option. He addressed the Baba saying, Baba, I am willing to give you any amount of charity that you wish. But your mantra must be genuine. It must give results. And I need to experience its effects. After that, I will bestow upon you whatever donation you desire. The Baba replied, Donations, they are insignificant. I do not desire them. Hearing this, the man reflected, and said to the Baba, Baba, I am willing to face even the ordeal of walking on burning coals. I only need your permission. The Baba replied, I will not ask you to do something as trivial as walking on coals. What I am about to entrust to you is a very challenging mantra, but you will be able to do it. The man turned to the Baba with an anxious question. Baba, what should I do? I am willing to do anything. The Baba replied, When you return home as you'll walk, repeat in your mind, I am free. I am free. I am free. Repeat these words over and over again, making sure they do not roll off your tongue. They should only resonate in your mind. At this, the man commented, Baba, that's all. It doesn't seem difficult. He got up and started on his way, repeating in his mind, I am free. I am free. After a short distance, suddenly, the thought of a monkey popped into his mind. The thought of the monkey came, and went away. But the man was troubled. He had never thought of monkeys before. Why did this thought arise today? In doing this reflection, he completely forgot the mantra to be repeated and became immersed in his thoughts about monkeys. After a while, when he regained consciousness, he took up the same mantra that the Baba had taught him. I am free. I am free. Suddenly, however, he found himself in front of a monkey, and as he contemplated this image, the thought of the monkey returned to his mind. He longed to dispel this thought from his mind. He wished that the presence of the monkey thought would disappear completely. But he was standing in front of a real monkey. In desperation, he came home, and said to his wife, Please prepare monkey for dinner. Realizing what I had just said, he started pulling my hair, banging his head against the walls, and exclaiming, I have never thought about monkeys before, and today this thought consumes me. What is happening? I see monkeys everywhere. What kind of illusion is this? Consumed by these thoughts, the man was unable to sleep all night, tossing and turning in bed. The next morning, he went straight to the Baba himself and prostrated himself at his feet, saying, Baba, I am confused. I don't understand what kind of phenomenon is happening. I have never had thoughts about a monkey before. But since you instructed me not to think of one, I visualize it everywhere since then. The man went on saying, Even now, I can see a monkey standing behind you chewing leaves. What is happening, Baba? At these words, the Baba began to laugh. The Baba shared with the man, Son, the cunning of the mind is so intricate that to understand it is no simple task. The monkeys were in your midst from before. When you came to look for me, these monkeys were roaming among the trees. However, at that moment, these monkeys did not occupy your thoughts. At that time, your mind was immersed only in your sorrows. Then the Baba explained to the man that human beings should turn away from what they wish to escape from, for that which we try to escape from, penetrates deep into our mind, absorbs into our inner being. He pointed out that whatever we try to avoid is closely connected with us. The more we long for liberation, the deeper it takes root in our mind, and finally conquers our inner being. He further expressed that although we affirm with words that we are happy, we often harbor sadness in our hearts, thoughts, and mind. Affirming with the tongue that we are happy does not guarantee happiness unless that mantra penetrates our inner mind. In this reflection lies the true nature of the human being. The man asked the Baba, "But Baba, how will this mantra take root in our hearts?" The Baba replied, "Son, stop resisting your sorrows. While you are trying to get rid of them, those sorrows have taken root in you, and they will dominate your consciousness. The day when you stop struggling against sorrows, when you no longer wish to be free from them, will be the day when they will disappear." To get rid of something, we must stop thinking about it. The more we think about it, the deeper it goes in our mind. Often, our mind is obsessed with sadness. We are always thinking about getting rid of it. So, as we ruminate over and over again about sadness, it infiltrates our mind without us realizing it. If you want to get rid of sadness, stop thinking about getting rid of it. In this way, you will free yourself. We often see people who want to stop smoking or drinking. They make morning promises to abstain. But when they come back in the evening, they do it again. Why does this happen? Because we place too much importance on these things. Every time we think about giving them up, we increase their importance. The more our mind concentrates on something, the more it pursues it. We don't need to fight it. We simply let it pass without thinking. And so, we can follow this mantra. Understanding it, we can root any goal in our heart. And once this goal is rooted in us, achieving success is no longer a problem. This is how this powerful story concludes. I hope you liked today's video, and that you found it helpful to understand the moral of letting go of what we don't want to experience. If so, remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more content like this. Thank you very much for making it this far, and remember, keep growing and see you in the next video.